Hail fell in mid-Missouri this morning, causing problems for some drivers. Look at that. Organizers rallied to commend efforts introducing disability legislation, and footage from the earthquake in Chile surfaces.
And we're going to be talking about a lot of weather throughout the entire show, including some tips to keep you safe. KOMU News at noon starts now.
From Studio 8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU-8 News at noon.
Most of us heard it this morning. There has been a lot of weather already today, and there's more to come. Let's check in first with Kenton to see what we can expect. Kenton?
Angie, that's exactly right. Most people today woke up to some thunder, some lightning, maybe even through the night, and some hail on their way to work or taking the kiddos to school. Looking at our satellite and radar right now, this is the last hour. You can see a lot of it is starting to move out of the area. However, there is still this is a look at how much rain we have seen so far today across our viewing area. You can see a lot of it here is just along and to the south of I-70. Columbia, there's a little pocket right below. Right now, we're in the about inch to half an inch range for most of us, with a little bit less than that to the north and south. Storm report-wise, we have seen a lot of, these are all hail reports throughout the entire state of Missouri. A lot of hail throughout the area-wise right now, getting up into those 50s, and eventually this afternoon we are going to be seeing temperatures reaching into the 60s, 65 degrees, and then we have more coming in tonight, and that's going to last into at least into our Thursday night. But I'll have a look at that coming up in just a little bit. Angie.
Thanks, Kenton. Like we said, a lot of bad weather in the viewing area today, especially in Fulton, where there was golf ball size hail. There's a look at William Woods University campus. Unbelievable. Piles of hail lined the roads. There's also some flooding in the area. Campus security said it heard cars were damaged, but officers had not seen it for themselves yet. Bill Schmidt is a Fulton resident. He was at home during the heart of the storm.
It sounded like gravel hitting the roof, making thumping sounds.
He says he and his grandchildren, who are in town from San Diego, will be spending the rest of the day at a friend's indoor pool. Lucky kids. Well, the rain this morning did not stop hundreds from gathering at a disabled rights rally at the state capitol. This morning marked the 13th annual Disability Rights Legislative Day. KOMU-8's Ben Wilson joins us in the studio now with more details.
Thanks, Angie. A coalition of disability-related organizations and individual advocates sponsored the rally at the Capitol Rotunda this morning. Organizers used the rally to commend several legislators for their various efforts to enhance and introduce disability legislation, but its main goal is to keep those at the Capitol aware of the disabled's needs.
Most of the priorities of the disability community sort of remain the same: access to home and community-based services, access to necessary services through Medicaid, and initiatives to help ensure that people with disabilities are stable financially.
The big thing is we got to make sure that this is not a Republican issue or a Democrat issue. This is an issue that should be bipartisan, and that's probably the biggest success I've seen in the last 10 years in my time in the legislature.
Senator Roop says budgetary issues are the biggest obstacles to passing legislation for the disabled.
And Governor Jay Nixon will speak at a meeting hosted by the Missouri Parents as Teachers Association tonight. PTA members from Pioneer Trail Elementary School will host a legislative town hall meeting. That's in Jefferson City. Nixon and other state legislators will talk about topics like early childhood education funding and the state foundation formula. That starts at 6:30 again at Pioneer Trails Elementary in Jefferson City. Has anyone ever beat you to that perfect parking place by just a few seconds? Even a better question, have you ever wanted to park in a spot where there's a bag over the meter saying you can't? KOMU-8's Devin Fassbinder looks at who's beating you to those bagged meters and why.
Since October, 151 of these bags have gone on parking meters across Columbia.
People see red bags or the orange bags over a parking meter, they assume that meter is out of service.
When actually, it works just fine.
These are used to reserve the metered spots by contractors that are doing some type of work in the area.
Take Orr Street, for instance. Workers are building new apartments, which means equipment that needs a place to park. The city charges those contractors to use the spots. To rent the meters, a contractor has to deposit $15 for the bag. Then, for each day, the contractor pays $8 for each meter, or $16 for a double meter. The contractors are also the only ones enforcing who parks in the spots.
It is almost 100% complaint driven because our parking enforcement agents aren't going to know what vehicles are allowed to park there and which ones are not.
But bags don't come into play when meters are actually broken. In fact, you usually can't even see.
Meters that are out of service do not have any type of bag over them. They may have a note from parking utility that says that the meter is out of service, but otherwise there's really no visual indicator of that.
When meters are broken, the parking utility office says it's pretty accommodating.
As long as we can verify that the meter is malfunctioning, we'll issue or will allow that person to park there without penalty.
If an agent sees a broken meter, they'll check it out, even paying the meter to give the driver the benefit of the doubt. But with the covered spots, that doesn't happen.
Well, if they've parked in a spot that a contractor has paid for and reserved, they're subject to citation and an immediate towing because that spot has been reserved.
And with a lock, that spot stays reserved 24/7 until the bag is removed. Devin Fastbinder, KOMU-8 News, Columbia.
Now you know, and it's not just contractors who can rent the spots. Businesses like the new hotel on Broadway and Landmark Bank have rented them as well. To view the ordinance allowing the bags or to see the applications for getting a bag, visit our website at KOMU.com. Cameras at a pharmacy in northern Chile caught this morning an 8.2 magnitude earthquake when it hit. It hit near the coast of northern Chile, causing at least 6 deaths and triggering a tsunami with waves more than 6 feet tall. Officers say those killed include those who either died of heart attacks or were crushed even by collapsing walls. The government evacuated Chile's northern coast, and the president has declared the area a disaster. Hawaii is still under a tsunami advisory until 2 o'clock. We may have experienced high winds, but Mother Nature took it to another level in Portugal, causing a lot of damage there. A storm system ripped through a town, damaging homes and even knocked down trees. Torrential rains caused flooding. Flights were canceled at local airports, stranding at least 5,000 passengers. And imagine hail, tornadoes, snow happening all at once. Mother Nature combined all those elements this week for a state that isn't even considered to be part of Tornado Alley. We'll take a look later, coming up on KOMU-8 News at noon.
Hey everyone, welcome back to KOMU-8 News at noon. Here's a live look over Jefferson City. You can see, still seeing a little bit of rain there in Jeff City. It's a little windy as well, and there's plenty of cloud cover out there. As we head into the rest of our afternoon, though, we will be seeing the rain move right on out, and we're going to be mostly cloudy, about 65 degrees for your high temperature this afternoon. A little warmer here than we were yesterday, and then 62 degrees by 9 p.m. And really, this evening is when we're going to start to see the rain start to move back in, and thunderstorms as well. Some of them could even be severe as we head into our overnight hours. Looking at our satellite and radar, a little bit of snow actually over here in the Dakotas. That's going to move down into Nebraska. So luckily, we're not dealing with snow, but we do have the chance for severe weather tonight and tomorrow. A big story here for us. Let's take a look at what we've been seeing. In the past 12 hours, you saw all that heavy rain moving throughout the morning this morning. You probably woke up and maybe throughout the night with some heavy lightning and some loud thunder out there as well. Even some hail as a lot of people headed to work and took the kiddos to school today. As I slow this down and look at our first alert live Doppler rate radar, we are seeing still a heavy pocket of rain, and it's definitely some thunder and lightning in that as well down to the south of Jeff City in the Owensville area. This is actually an area we were looking at yesterday at this time. They were seeing rain at this time as well in the Freeburg, Lynn area as well. So that's all going to be moving through in the next hour or so, and it'll be out of there by the time we get into later on in this afternoon, about mid-afternoon. Okay, wind-wise, about 15 miles an hour from the east right now in Columbia, 15 miles an hour in Kirksville and in Kansas City as well. So a little bit windy out there. We're going to see gusts around 20 miles an hour throughout our afternoon. So a little windy, but again, we're going to dry out a little bit this afternoon, although we do have that chance for still a few light showers off and on throughout the afternoon, but nothing compared to what we're going to be seeing tonight and for your day tomorrow. Overnight tonight, those storms will move back into the area. Some of them could be severe and strong. 57 degrees for your low temperature by the time we head to our sunrise tomorrow morning. And then south winds here 10 to 15 miles an hour, gusting up to about 20 to 25 miles an hour overnight tonight. And we do have also a chance for a little bit of flash flooding overnight tonight as well as these systems do move in. Heavy rain, definitely going to be an issue with that overnight, especially after the midnight hour. Okay, let's take a look at what our big picture is looking like. So we are going to be seeing just a few clouds here this afternoon, mostly cloudy skies, maybe a few showers, but most of these showers are moving off over towards the east. As we head into our day tomorrow, though, overnight tonight, storms move into the area. Then as we head into the morning hours, we're actually going to dry out a little bit into your Thursday morning, kind of like what we're seeing this afternoon. But unfortunately, that's not even good news for us because that's just going to let our storms brew up a little bit, and that's going to lead to our Thursday afternoon and Thursday night where we're going to be seeing storms throughout the area. We definitely have the threat for severe weather tomorrow and tomorrow night. That's really the main systems that we're watching is tomorrow and tomorrow night, just because, as I said, that's our biggest threat right now for severe weather. Looking at our severe weather outlook for today, again, we're in a moderate range right now for the rest of our day, and this does include tonight as well. As we head into the day tomorrow, though, remember, right now we are in this moderate risk. So a slight risk today, moderate risk tomorrow for at least the southern part of our viewing area, although this could change. I would not be surprised if this moved up a little bit farther north as severe weather is a big issue tomorrow. And then Friday, we're pretty much in the clear, just going to be a little bit cooler in our temperatures after a cold front moves through the area tomorrow. So 74 tomorrow for your high temperatures. In the 70s, nice temperature, but severe weather out there. 48 degrees for your Friday, and then as you head into your Saturday, 54. We're going to stay in the 50s for this weekend. And then on Monday, could see a little bit more rain, and we're going to stay right into the 50s as well. Well, a strange spring storm hit a small town in southwest Minnesota. Tornadoes, hail, and snow were all in the forecast, which rarely happens in those parts. NBC's Jeff Russack has a look at the wild weather in Minnesota.
Say hello to the 20th tornado ever recorded in the month of March in the state of Minnesota. Lyon County emergency officials recorded this video as the storm raced northwards, eventually touching down here, Tom and Kim Abraham's farm in rural Minnesota.
Daughter called me and said that we had a tornado.
Neither Kim nor Tom were home, but their daughter, son, and 9-month-old granddaughter were in the basement.
I could tell by her voice she was scared, and I could tell it was for real.
The Abrahams' children caught a glimpse of the twister before it swept through the farm.
Good thing we had the hail because they had come up and put the car away, got the dogs in the garage, and they were looking out the window and saw it coming.
The twister cut the family's machine shed in half, scattered grain bins throughout their yard and fields, and almost perfectly nailed a piece of wood to the side of another shed.
I think it finally sunk in. It's like, wow, we just survived a tornado.
I couldn't believe it because the sun was shining in Marshall.
Just after the tornado hit the Abrahams' farm, plenty of friends and family came to help before the snow started to fall.
We're in a blizzard warning, and then you get a tornado. It's just weird.
That's replaceable. Human lives are not.
The hail, wind, and snow have subsided, but with planting season right around the corner, the Abrahams have plenty of work to do thanks to a very strange spring storm.
Well, I'm glad they knew what to do in case of a storm. And coming up right after the break, I'm going to tell you on what you can do to stay safe in case a storm hits. We'll be right back. Hey everyone, welcome back. Looking at our radar again, we are seeing a little bit of heavier rain down to the southeast of Jefferson City in the Lynn area. All right, now let's take a look at what you can expect or what you can do in the next few days when the severe weather does reach us, because again, tomorrow is looking like a pretty big severe weather threat for us here in mid-Missouri. So I just want to make sure you're prepared. I don't want to scare you, but I do want to make sure that you're prepared here because that's my main issue. I want to make sure everyone's safe out there. So first of all, do you have a plan in place for anywhere you are during the day on Thursday or Thursday night? Maybe you're at work on Thursday night as well. Make sure you have a plan ready to go, have your resources, and make sure that your kids know. So let's take a look at your plan here. So when you're at work, does your work have a plan? I was actually getting a haircut 2 or 3 days ago here, and the lady was telling me that she did not know what to do last Thursday when the tornado sirens went off, and she was at work. She had no idea what to do. She didn't know where to go. She was very scared. So make sure that you have a plan. That was not something I wanted to hear here. Make sure that you have a plan. If you don't know, ask. Hopefully your boss, your manager has a plan, and if they don't, ask them to have a plan and make sure that you know something to do. Maybe go to another building next to you if you can. Otherwise, find the lowest level. Lowest level is always a good idea, and stay away from windows. Okay, if you're in a car when a severe thunderstorm hits or a tornado especially, the first thing you want to figure out, is it light or dark? Can you see around you? If you can't, then that means you might not be able to see a tornado, and you definitely do want to make sure that you're ready for that as well. But if it's light outside, you can go try and find some shelter, find a building, or if you can see the tornado, you can actually try and outrun it. Now, it's not the best option because tornadoes can change their path, but you can try and get out of the way if you can see it. Otherwise, if it's dark, try and find the lowest level you can. You can stay in your car if you absolutely have to. It's not a good idea, but if you have to, that's an option. Put your seatbelt on and make sure that you can duck down below the windows, because windows are a big hazard. Try and maybe put a blanket over you as well if you can. Otherwise, you can go into a ditch or a culvert, which is underneath the road. There's a little gap there, and you can go in there as well. Or find a building. They'll hopefully let you in here, and you can go into their storm shelter. That's really your best option. But no bridges. That's a big thing. That's a big thing that people think you can do. Go underneath a bridge. It'll keep you safe. It won't, actually. There's a lot of suction that can come under there, and you can actually get hurt a lot worse by going under a bridge than going anywhere else while you're outside. Otherwise, if you're at home, go to your lowest level. Go to a bathroom or a closet. If you don't have a basement, that's a good window or a good idea, but stay away from windows. That's a big thing as well. And if you live in a mobile home, get out of the mobile home. Hopefully you guys have a severe shelter around you. Go there. Mobile homes are not severe weather safe at all. Have your resources. A NOAA weather radio is a good resource. Also, you can get our KMU weather app, sign up for text alerts, and tune in to us. We'll keep you updated. We're going to be with you throughout all of this severe weather that we're expecting in the area, and make sure you let your kids know. We don't want them to get too scared out there, and helmets are a great idea to have on hand in case severe weather does hit. That's a quick look at what you can do to stay safe. Be sure to stay tuned to KOMU. We'll keep you updated throughout the severe weather. We'll be right back.
A sports trainer finds a new way to use technology to protect some athletes from injury. CNN's Alan Shope takes a look at the new technology and how it's already helping one athlete from Missouri.
Liberty High School quarterback A.J. Cambrick suffered a concussion a few years back. He says they mostly happen when you don't see the hit coming.
It's a hit that you don't see, like say you're getting hit from behind, you can't see it, and it's almost like whiplash. Your body just goes with the momentum.
That's why A.J. likes this. It's a new virtual football program and headset. Team plays are programmed into it, and the athlete gets to see the play develop from every angle.
With this, you see where the defenses will be coming from.
Football is a fast game, and we feel like anytime we can have that kid better prepared to know what's going to be either coming at them or their surroundings as they're out there, the better off they're going to be from a safety standpoint.
Kansas City native Brendan Riley came up with the new software as a trainer on the KU basketball staff. Now his vision is reality. Well, virtual reality.
There's a reason our fighter pilots or our surgeons train in virtual reality. And what we want to do is take that same technology and apply it to high school, youth, collegiate, NFL football.
The big benefit for student athletes comes from less time taking hits out on the practice field and more time studying plays and reactions to those plays in a headset. It's technology that's sweeping the country. In fact, Riley already has 20 area schools signed up, including Kansas.
It was huge for us. Really, more than anything, just the input from all the colleges we've worked with.
Coaches like Chad Fregon say it's changing the way student athletes prepare.
Hopefully by getting those reps and seeing those things before they actually step onto the field, it can lead to them understanding what's going on around them.
Now let's check in with Teague for today's Red Carpet Report.
I'm Teague Julipenko. Let's take a look at what's happening in Hollywood. First things first, we have an update from Chris Brown's jail cell. Brown wanted to communicate with his fans, so he left a message on his on-again, off-again girlfriend's phone. She relayed his message via Instagram. The message said, "I'm just calling about my fans. Y'all know I love y'all. Thank y'all for your support." Brown has been in jail for 2 weeks following his expulsion from anger management rehab. And Kanye West also has some news for his fans, some good and some bad. First, the good news. West plans to release a new album this year that's said to be a follow-up to last year's Yeezus, but it may be taking more than anticipated. Which brings us to our bad news. He has postponed parts of his world tour in Australia to work on the album. And Rosie O'Donnell will be honored at this year's Tony Awards. O'Donnell will be receiving the Isabel Stevenson Award because of her career on Broadway and personal contribution to a charitable cause. O'Donnell will be recognized for her program Rosie's Theater Kids, which advocates art education in New York City's public schools. And that's it for your Red Carpet Report.
Now let's check in with Dr. Oz for his tip.
Hi, I'm Dr. Oz. Many Americans say they don't get a good night's sleep during the week. Your gadgets play a role. Normally, darkness triggers the release of melatonin, which helps us sleep. The blue light produced by smartphone screens suppresses production. Unwind by setting an electronic curfew an hour before bed.
Dr. Oz, today at 3 on KOMU-8.
Hey everyone, welcome back. As we look at our severe index for tonight, we do have a chance for a lot of flooding overnight tonight. Again, that's pretty much the most severe we could see, maybe a little bit of hail. Otherwise, as we look at our severe index for tomorrow, for your Thursday, again, Thursday afternoon and Thursday night, looking a little significant here, moderate for tornadoes and a high risk of everything else. It's going to be a very interesting day. Be sure to keep it tuned to KOMU, and we'll keep you updated on these systems.
Okay, thanks, Kent. And here's a look at what we're following for KOMU 8 News coming up at 5 o'clock. New educational requirements have come to Missouri schools, while some lawmakers are trying to fight the implementation of the new Common Core standards. And we're following new developments in the University Village apartment collapse. We'll bring you new information there. You said today, certainly a weather-worthy day, but tomorrow is a day that could get dicey, and it will just be
overnight. We'll see more storms overnight, and then tomorrow morning we'll dry off a little bit during the daytime morning hours. Then tomorrow afternoon into your night tomorrow, that's when we have the biggest risk for severe weather.
Keep it here, like he said. We'll keep you safe. Thanks so much for joining us.
Access Hollywood's next. Stay safe.